Well, thank you. I'm flying back from Emirates. I didn't want to miss this opportunity, so happy to meet to all of you and to participate in this anniversary of our satellite center. Weeks ago, we were in Madrid in the headquarters, inauguration of a new building for our satellite center in this turning of age. And I thought it was an important anniversary and it should be celebrated also here in Brussels. Because maybe people in Brussels don't know exactly what we are doing in Torrejón. In Madrid, I stressed the importance of the satellite center for our decision-making process. And everybody involved in the decision-making process have to be aware of what the center is doing for us. And I said in Madrid, and I want to repeat here, this our satellites, the satellites that you are managing, the images that you are managing are our eyes. You are the eyes of Europe. And through the information that you are providing, we get to see and know better what's going on in the world. And every day, on building the foreign policy, we deal with complex situations, and some places are far away, and often information is hard to come by. Yes, we have pictures, we have statistics, but nothing replaces the online, on-the-spot, real-time vision. And many times before deciding, we need to assess what's going on. And that's why we rely on you, on our satellite center. And today's event that I was pushing for taking place here in Brussels is an opportunity to highlight the achievement of the past 30 years. And I want these achievements to be known by everybody. It's the occasion to raise awareness about your work and your contributions, and also, maybe more important, to look into the future. Well, you have heard about the evolution of the satellite center. It was established in the early 90s in a period of many security challenges and stability. Maybe, I don't know, as many as today. And since then, the satellite center was able to make important contributions to our decision-making process, starting, for example, with the Great Lakes crisis in Africa. Now we have another Great Lakes crisis in Africa. In fact, they have never vanished. But you started working with the big Great Lake crisis in Africa and with the conflicts in the former Yugoslavia. And 10 years later, in 2022, Satellite Center became an European Union agency. And since then, it has remained the today European Union's Geospatial Intelligence Agency, providing autonomous intelligence analysis for our institutions and for our member states, and supporting our foreign and security policy. Your work is crucial for our missions, for our civilian and military missions and operations. SatCen is providing critical information, critical input for the work of our Navy operation, Irini, in Mediterranean, on monitoring violations of the arms embargo in Libya, or for our mission in Georgia, or for our mission Atalanta in the Somalian coast. I was recently visiting Atalanta mission aboard of a Spanish ship, and I recognized that the mission is possible thanks, among other things, of the images that they get from you. You support our diplomatic efforts, for example, in the South Caucasus, the negotiation between Armenia and Azerbaijan that had been facilitated by President Michel relied directly on your geospatial analysis. You contribute also to the recognition by international organizations that benefit from our work, for instance, the United Nations, the OCE, and the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. And they benefit from us, from you, from us, because I am chairing the board, because we offer a unique capability to support our partners and to do it in a timely manner. For instance, another example is what's happening in Moldova and Ukraine. And it's very important in the context of this aggression against Ukraine. You are demonstrating your strategic role and the relevance of this model. Other space and information services and agencies can no longer operate in such conflicts. Then SatCen becomes crucial. Not only that, Frontex also benefits of our information for border management, or with the Union's space program, Copernicus, an important component of the Union Health Observation, that also benefits from the Satellite Center top-level geospatial intelligence expertise. The European space industry, that's a lot. And this anniversary is a good moment to make a balance of the past work, but for me, it's more important the opportunity to reflect about the future of our satellite center. And we should place this future in the context of our increasing level of ambition in the field of security, defense, and space in light of the unprecedented level of threats that the Union is facing. I want to stress that because we are certainly facing an unprecedented level of threats, an increasing level of ambition in the field of security, defense, and space has to be our answer to these threats. We started doing that with the strategic compass. We adopted this in March, and there is a mention specifically addressed to the satellite center, and we call in the strategic compass for the strengthening of its capacity by 2025. We call for a new space strategy at the service of the security and defense of the Europeans. And doing that, we're working together, how not, with Commissioner Breton. This new strategy will be looking both at, first, security in space, meaning how to protect our space infrastructure and respond at the European Union level when we are confronted with the space threats in the space. And second, security from the space, meaning how space contributes to our security and defense. And there, certainly, you have an important role to play. Your contribution to our security and defense is highly relevant politically, and that's why I intend to keep this issue high in our agenda and continue to hold the Satellite Center board meetings at ministerial level. We were talking about the strategic culture. This is an important dimension. I am convinced that a stronger satellite center will contribute also to the building of a common strategic culture in the European Union, and to leverage the European Union as a strategic actor and as a global security provider. I want to stress these three words: global security provider, with our own autonomous geospatial intelligence capacity. President von der Leyen was asking for that also in the last State of the Union message. Yes, we have to have our own geospatial intelligence capacity if we want really to be a global security provider. Ladies and gentlemen, it is fitting that we mark this important anniversary with a special exhibition that showcases the evolution of the Satellite Center over the last 3 decades. There, We will have so many examples of our work displayed in the Justus Lipsius building until 18th of November. And it would be good also that this exhibit goes out of the walls of the European Union institutions. It would be good if we could find the ways and the places where ordinary people, citizens, can have a look at that without having to come into the European Union buildings. I think that they have to understand how we are monitoring diverse situations and crises, monitoring the migration activity, the assessment of the damage caused by the explosion in Beirut in 2020, or the environmental monitoring after the tsunami in Chile in 2010. Every time that there is something important happening in the world, in our neighborhood and beyond, the eyes of the Satellite Center has been there, watching, explaining, informing, and supporting decision-making process. And these pictures are so impressive that I think people will be very interested on looking at them. These are examples of a unique added value of the center to the life of the European Union. So I want to commend you, Sorin, and all Satellite Center staff, all of you, for your invaluable work. I need future achievements to help guarantee the safety, the security, and the well-being of the European citizens. So let's take this exhibit everywhere we can. There are many places in Europe where we can show to the ordinary citizens, normal people, which are the eyes of Europe, and how through the eyes of Europe we are following what's happening in the world to increase their security and to improve our policy. So thank you very much to all of you, and now we will enjoy this exhibit. Thank you.